All right, well, let's start working in processing. Presumably you already got here and you can find out how to get in processing. We're going to make this one, we're going to start drawing a little bit. Drawing a character. So anything up there with the slashes is always going to be a comment or anywhere else in the code. I'm going to start off by doing what we do all the time in processing. We're going to make a setup. And I'm going to close that setup, and I'm going to say end of setup. And I'll come down and we'll do a draw as well. Open, close, and there. Now I'm going to make my font just a little bit bigger here so it's a little bit easier to see on the screen. And what we're going to look at next is we're going to go in and start doing some little setup here. We'll make the size of what our space is going to be 400 by 400. Don't forget your semicolon. And we can actually put a background in there too. Background, don't forget the G, lots of folks forget the G. And you can pick a color here, any RGB values. So we're going to say, let's make this one be, we'll make it be 100 red. We'll make it be a lot of blue, and just a little bit. And we'll go ahead and test it. Whoa, that's way more green than I want. Let's make this be, remember the numbers are all between 0 and 255. Still a little too much. Let's make this one be 100. Better. Just going to make it more gray. Ugh. So what we're going to add in next here is we're going to come down and let's move this back to 100. And we're going to start by doing a little bit of drawing, and we're going to start with an ellipse. L-I-I-P-S-E. And make this one be at 100, 100. That's the starting point, the x value and the y value of the starting point. And then I'm going to say I want it to be 50 by 50. I can now go ahead and run that one. And we can see there's our little circle, or an ellipse. And we know it's a circle because these two values are the same. So if you're ever thinking about, I'm going to make a little comment here to remind me that an ellipse values are x, y, those are the starting locations, and then it's width and height. So if I were to change this one to be 100 and run it, you can see my height is now twice the width. Let's keep it a circle because I'm going to make a little character here. And I think I'm going to very quickly go ahead and put in another ellipse right under it. L-L-I-P-P-S-E. And this one, I'm going to move it over to the left a little bit because remember the x value goes from the left to the right, getting greater. So I'm going to move it over a little bit, and I think I'll keep it, oops, at the same y, the same height from up and down. And then I'm going to say, let's make them smaller. I'm going to try to make some eyes on this guy. So my first one, got to put the eye there. Might be a little bit too big. But you know what? We'll leave it there for now. And now let me copy. I'm going to be lazy here. I'm going to copy that code and paste that one in. And instead of going 90, I want to go the other direction. So I want it to get bigger. So that one, since this is the x value, it should be further to the right. And I'm guessing these are going to, they almost overlap. They're also a little bit kind of low. It kind of looks like he's wearing really big kind of glasses. I might move my y value up just a little bit. So I'll make it 90 and 90 on these two. Wow, too much. All right, one more try. There we go. And we can put in a little mouth there if we really want to. I guess we should add in something like that. And I'm pasting in another ellipse. And it probably makes sense here to say this one's going to be the right eye. And I'll say this one's my left eye, in case I needed to change them. And if I wanted to, I could say this one's the head. So let's do this one. This is going to be the mouth. And we want to make the mouth smaller than those crazy big eyes I made. And I wanted this one to be smaller, I think. I'm going to make this one just be like 5, 10, that. We're going to move it down so that they're both going to be moved down further. So the Y needs to be like 115 maybe. And we'll make this one 100, so it should be in the middle. There it is. Doesn't look like the happiest little dude. Maybe because he doesn't have a body yet. I could go ahead and add in a couple more little circles inside to make the eyes, but let's keep going along with some of the other work. So we're going to say line. And I think our line, I'm going to start with it being at 100, because that's where we started our head at. So it's probably going to draw on top of the face, but that's okay for the moment. And then I'm going to have it go down, because lines are 2 sets of x and y coordinates. So this is x and y where the line starts, and the next two are going to be the x and line where the line ends. So let's quickly do that, and we're going to say, let's do like 160, 160. Now we want it to stay straight up and down. If I do 160, 160, you know what's going to happen. It's going to go diagonally. So let me go ahead and hit that, and you'll see. So it's going like from his nose diagonally. I don't want that. I want it to actually go straight down. So let me move over and make sure my x value stays at 100. That way, in the x1, it shouldn't move left and right. So there we got a little stick figure line going down from there. And he's also like, he is really skinny. Really, really skinny. That just doesn't look good. So maybe we can actually make that be a little bit bigger. And one option we have is we can make it, actually change it and make it be a rectangle. Rectangles is another one of the primitive shapes we could do. And we could say for this one, we could say it starts at 100 and then 100. And then in this case, it starts its box at the top left, you'll see. So if I say 100 and 100 and then it's the same sort of like this, it's going to be come down. So it's the x, y, and let's make this be our body. We'll make the body be that. Now what's nice here is I can actually go in and comment out this line of code, which is exactly what I think I'm going to do, but not until after I make this huge rectangle first. So if I run that one, wow, that's a terrible, big, massive, crazy body thing we don't want. But let's change it around. We're going to make this one, let's make it just be 100 and 100. You can see right now it's still way over to the side. So we want to move this one over. And we want it to be way skinnier. So we're going to make it probably be, let's make it be just as wide as the head is. So that'll be our width. And our height, I think, we'll probably make it be a little bit longer so he's not looking super chubby. So that's, yeah, it's still pretty blocky. Maybe we'll make them just a little bit smaller. This one be 65. This one be 35. Whoa, not 350. And run that one. It's a little bit better sized body for a square body guy. But it's still starting off in the wrong spot here. So we don't really want it to start at 100 to 100. We want it to actually start over further. So we probably want to take whatever the width is and subtract about half of that width. So let's make it actually be 30 because that'll be a little bit easier and I'll divide. So if I take half of 30, it's going to be what? 15. And so if we subtract 15 from 100 and we do it off of the x, so we go down 5, it's going to be 95. So if we go down to that, it's going to be 85. So let's run that one. So now it's nicely even, but it's still in front of everything. So let's move this guy to a different location because these are all kind of running in order. We want the head to be on top of the body. And so we run this one. There we've got it in the back. Now we don't need this line here, so let me comment my line. Doop, 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 doop. Down here at the end, I'm going to add a comment here and say this is end of draw, so we don't forget that's down there. So what do we got? Got head, 2 eyes, a little mouth, got this kind of square body happening. I think now it's time to go and actually make an arm for this poor armless guy. So in this case, we're going to start playing around with these numbers, and it's going to take you a little bit of trial and error to try to figure it out. But I think we're looking at here as being something like around 120. And you can go ahead and do a quick run and see what it does. But this is the number that I'm trying to move. I'm trying to move it down. Oh, we actually know what this number is, right? Because this is 30 wide, right? Our body, it was 30 wide. So if we know that, then it's going to be 115 is where we want our starting point to be, because it's half of that 30. And we want to move it down a ways because it's going to be on that body. Let's move it down to like 120 as our starting point. And there we got an arm going down one side. Let's make it so it moves off to the right, so his arm's kind of sticking off to the side. So I need to make both of these greater. 130, and we'll try 160 because that'll move it down, right? There we go. We got one shooting off that side. Let's try doing another arm. Just going to copy that line. And now I need to kind of think about it as going, what negative numbers can we do for all of these? So if I really quickly say this is the right arm, from me looking at it, this will make our left arm. And let's go and think really quick. We're going to go make this one 85, right? Because it's that other size minus the 30. So that makes our left arm starting point be over and 120, but it probably still like reaches over to the one side. Looks like you could be holding something here. That could be good. And then I can go in down here and I can change this other one. This one I really need it to be like much less than that one, and so probably let's make this one be 70 because it's that way it should be evenly out the other side. There's pretty cool. All right, so the next part of the assignment here is for you to go ahead and make 2 legs. So come down here and add in your own code to make 2 legs. And I think what would be really cool is if we could add in a couple of nice eyeballs in there too. Feel free to change the color, or if you want to change in like stroke weight. I think that would be actually a nice one to add in too. If you add in your stroke weight of maybe 3, I think for everything would probably smooth them out a little bit. Oh, talk about smooth. Let's do smooth too. And make it look a little bit better. Not super better, but a little bit better. All right, so there's a really quick way to start creating a little character and body. Once you've made all your character, we'll talk about ways we can use him or her. I mean, you can easily make a female character as well. But this should get you started.